I think a lot of us have kind of seen him. I've seen occasions where we could have used him and we haven't. But yeah, you're not going to tamper with. Morris has found form again, and you don't want to tamper with that because I think most people will agree technically he's probably our best or one of our best players, and Morris has found form. So you're not going to want to bring Hawks in for him and dislodge him. You're not going to want to start Hawks over Apter because Apter's, has been our main attacking threat. I think he hasn't been used as a sub particularly well, and I think I have no problem with him not starting because I kind of got what Nigel was doing, as in keeping things a little bit narrower. Yes, McAleer was on the right, but it was narrower and shoring things up. But I would have liked to have seen Hawks come on earlier. So maybe that. I mean, Nigel was positive about him in the post match. He was positive about Hawks. He did highlight that. He made a difference. He says that he's hit the post because of a bobble. So that's how close we were to an equaliser. And I think Hawks has done himself massive favours in getting into the lineup. The only other question I'd say is it a case of we're looking at offloading him anyway? And does he not see any longevity in using Hawks? Does he not see a benefit in using Hawks if he's someone we're looking to cash into? Because I think I'm right in saying he's out of contract at the end of the season. And you're not going to get much, if anything, at the end of the season. So, maybe he's looking at moving him on, and that's why he hasn't had much of a chance. But for me, I've understood why he hasn't been getting games. When he missed that penalty, I forget who the opposition was, but he missed the penalty. Was it Bradford? From that point on, he looked very sulky for about a month. So I got it. And you've got to just trust Nigel. He's the one who works with them on the training pitch. He's the one who sees the players day in, day out. What are they like in the changing rooms? There's reasons that he's not been getting game time. But now, based on what we've seen he can do, and he's still got the enthusiasm to do it, I would be putting him in the starting lineup against MK because that's a game you want to be front foot, putting them on the back foot,
He is out of contract in the summer. I wouldn't be surprised if Tranmere have got a 12-month option on that contract because a lot of the contracts they've recently announced have had that 12-month option built into them, thereby giving the club a little bit more leeway when it comes to the player sale. I think Ethan Bristow had an option, didn't he? We know Tom Davis has had an option in his contract. His initial contract, the first one he signed for the club, had a 12-month option in it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is that option in there, and hopefully there is, because it would give Tranmere a bit more of a safety net when it comes to the transfer market. The thing is, if he isn't going to be used, you may as well cash in on him because they're going to have to find something somewhere to bring the squad up another level this month. If Apter's not coming back, then they have to improve the squad.
Yeah, and I think the alternative to using Hawks we've seen is McAleer, who isn't a winger, and will give you a very different sort of approach to the game, or is Sam Taylor. And Sam Taylor, since signing his long-term deal, I don't think we've seen him in the starting lineup at all. The last time I saw him was in one of the pizza games that I know you're a massive fan of, Matt. But I personally thought he had a good game in that one. He got a bit of criticism, but I thought him and Norris down the left worked really well. But since that, we've not seen Sam Taylor at all. If you're not going to use these players, Taylor, he's not a large expense, but Hawks is probably on some money that you want to get some something back for what you're paying him. So I don't know why we don't use him. But yeah, we're going to have to think of what we do. If you're not going to use Hawks, you've got to ship him out. You might as well cash in. There's no point in just letting him stagnate there, not using him. So I would be starting him. But if you're not going to start him, you've got to look at who are we going to start. Are you going to keep using McAleer there? That's not offensive enough for me. Are you going to put Taylor in there? Or are you going to put Harvey Saunders out there? His pace is great. Technically, he's dreadful, but his pace is fantastic. His effort's fantastic. But there's not really the quality there that's going to improve the team. That's a massive step back from putting Apter there. So we've got to do something in the market unless we're going to use Hawks. But I'm sure discussions are being had. I know Pelios and they get criticism for their planning for their transfers. I'm sure that they are scouring the market, and Nigel himself will have contacts. He'll be speaking to a lot of people, a lot of different clubs to see who can we bring in, what is out there. But yeah, you've got to think about improving that squad. You don't want to deplete the quality of it. And I think if we're utilising what we've got, you probably are depleting the squad a bit, unless it's Hawks and unless Hawks is in the mood to play. So we're going to have to wait and see how January goes because, there'll be comings and goings, I'm sure. So, a winger must be top of that priority list.